Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TOC's Excel tricks and shortcut training. It's amazing to have you all here. We are so honored to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. Please quick check, confirm if you can hear me on YouTube. Can you hear me? Is the audio clear? Is it all good? I'm giving us a few seconds to just settle in. Okay. Brief introduction of TOC here. TOC stands for our community, and we are a platform, a group of people that are desirous of seeing other people grow, seeing other people do well in their careers, because we know that life can be tough and sometimes you feel alone when you're trying to develop yourself and grow. So we are a community of people that we want to see people grow, want to help people, and we do this through we have newsletters that go out every Saturdays. So in the forms you fill to register, if you think that you want us to get back to you today by 5:15, we'll be sending you a nice little mail that is going to help you for sure. And we also achieve our aim through events like this. We have such events every quarter, and this is the fourth one and the last one for this year. So it's great to have you join us here. Very great. Again, can you hear me? If you are in the call, can you hear me now? Please let me just see some comments before I continue. Okay, it seems like everyone can hear me. There's no problem with my audio. Let's just go straight to the trainer's info. So today's Excel tricks and shortcuts training will be done by Ayomide Olajide. Ayomide is the co-partner and Excel instructor at Dataline Analytics and Consulting, and doubles as a Microsoft certified trainer. Ayomide currently works as a data analyst at Leadway Assurance, creating automation to ease and fast-track operational activities, as well as building solutions to assist an insurance firm figure out the best operational decisions to make. Ayomide is skilled in SQL, Microsoft Power BI, and Microsoft Excel. So you know from this intro that it's not a small person. She knows her onion. She's good at what she does. So without further ado, please let's welcome Ayomide Olajide as she takes the screen. If you cannot see our Excel at any point, there is a settings part in Excel that allows you change the resolution, to change the quality. So on YouTube, go to the settings icon, still on the same page. You don't have to leave this page that you are. Go to the setting icons on YouTube, you see quality, click on that and you can change the resolution. Do we understand? Okay, Ayomide, you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Damilola. Okay, good morning, everyone. I don't know, Damilola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but the volume can go louder. We wouldn't mind that.
All right. Is it better now?
Yes, it's a lot
All
better.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Damilola. Okay, so Damilola did the introduction already, so I think that won't be needed. I would have loved to meet you all, but then we have limited time to learn a lot. So I'll be going straight to what will be showing us. So now this is an open platform, so I wouldn't assume anyone's level of knowledge. So we're starting from the roots. I mean, starting from we understanding what Excel is all about. So what is Excel? It's actually Microsoft Excel. So what is Microsoft Excel? Microsoft Excel itself is a spreadsheet program created by Microsoft. So it helps us to organize numbers and data with formulas and functions. So it is Microsoft Excel because it is a product of Microsoft, right? We have several other spreadsheets. We have Google spreadsheets. We have numbers. Numbers is for Apple. So when we hear Excel, Excel is not Excel is for a particular is a spreadsheet for Microsoft. Then Excel can do many things. It is mostly used in the business settings, but not only for in the business settings. We can use Excel to collect data. We can use it for data entry and storage. You can use it for data analysis, business analysis. You can use it for accounting and budgeting. So yet, um, Excel isn't just for business owners or for data analysts. Anybody can use Excel. Well, now today let me introduce us to the Excel interface. Like I said I wouldn't be assuming our level of knowledge. So this is the Excel interface. The What are some things we need to know? We have the cell. So the cell is where we enter data into. Yeah, we enter data into the cell. It is just the intersection of the column and the row. So now here I am clicked into a cell here. So this particular cell I am clicked into is an intersection of the column F and row 4. So when we want to call this or describe this call this cell or describe this cell, we say cell F4. Yeah, because it is on column F row 4. So that is the cell. Then active cell is the cell that is currently selected. So my active cell right now is cell F4. Then if I come here, my active cell will be cell K3. So that is active cell. What other thing? Okay, so workbook, we can hear workbook and worksheet. What's the difference? So this, I believe we all have this workbook, this Excel sheet and shortcuts workbook, because that's what we'll be working with and we need to practice along. I don't know, Damlola, do everyone have it? Sorry, please, can you still hear me?
I can hear you, Ayomide. I said we already sent the file to everyone.
So okay, so now this file, the file shared with us is a workbook, right? So and then it encompasses different worksheets. So workbook is the file itself, the file itself, while worksheets are different sheets in the workbook. So here in this workbook we have several worksheets there. Here we have the sorting. This is a worksheet I created and I named it. So this is another worksheet. And here is another worksheet. So we have different worksheets in one workbook. So that is that. And we have formula as well. We have Excel formulas. So formulas are just mathematical equations, it's could be cell referenced and the like. We are going to get to that when we use formulas. But one thing I want you to note is for it to be a formula, it has to start with an equal sign. So if I'm entering a formula, I will be starting with an equal sign. So then you know, okay, that is a formula. Then we have the formula tab. I don't know if you can see my screens clearly. This long um, tab here is our formula tab. So if I enter anything into this cell here, if I enter anything into this cell here, I can clearly see it in my formula tab. I can expand this formula tab by clicking this drop down button here. So to see it clearly. So that's our formula tab. And then what else do we have? Here is our name bar. So here we can see the name of the particular cell I am clicked in. That's E7. So that's the name bar. What else? Our ribbons. So we have different Excel ribbons. Here we have the file, the home ribbon, the insert, page layout, and etc. So in each of the ribbons, we have different groups and different tabs in the groups. So in this home ribbon here, the home ribbon is basically used to format for formatting. You can see you can bolden your text, you can do any sort of formatting as long as you know how to go about it on your own ribbon. And then we have the insert ribbon. In the insert ribbon, you can see different tabs, different groups there, the chat groups, the filter, the symbols, and the like. In the insert ribbon, you get to insert things, to bring things into your Excel and create table and the like. So we have several other ribbons. We have the data ribbon, we have the view, we have um, formulas. Yeah, this formula ribbon is just a library for different formulas. So you can see function library as a group here, where you have your different functions. Your text functions are there. Your math and trig functions are here. So these are basically the your Excel ribbon and tab. What else might you need to know about Excel again? Is you here? Okay, I told you that cell is an intersection of column and row, right? Right. So now you hear they say range. What do you mean by range? Range is just a collection of two or more cells. So right now I'm in a cell, that's cell E5. Then but now when I expand this selection by going to the right, now this is no longer a cell, it is now a range, and that is range E5 to H5. Do you get? That's already a range. If I come downwards now, this is a range, and then if I want to name this range, it is range um, E5 to H14. So it's starting on the cell E5 and it ends on cell H14. So this is range E5 to H14. So that is a range. So now before moving to the more practical section, I don't know if there is any question. Okay, no question, right? I guess I can move on. I can go ahead.
Ayomide, can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I can.
Okay. So we've sent a message to confirm if you have any question, but someone said the video quality is poor. So I want to sort of answer that by in the next 1 minute. Is that fine?
Okay, yes, you can.
Okay. So if you can hear me, if your video quality is poor, so just on this same YouTube link that you are using, go to the settings. So you might see a setting symbol on this same YouTube link. Go to that setting symbol by the top right corner if you're using your phone, and you see quality, right? So click on quality, go to the advanced and select the highest quality that you can see. Once you do that, you will have a clearer screen a clearer screen. So please confirm if that works. Thank you. So we'll be waiting for probably response in the next 30 seconds to confirm if the video quality is better now. Thank you.
Okay, so Ajibola, am I to wait or can I continue?
And let's just confirm just for about a minute if it's better now.
All
Then you
right,
can
thank you.
continue. Okay, I can see it's better. It didn't work. So Dockers, just still try what I said. So increase it to the highest resolution. Settings, we increase it to highest resolution. I can see better now from 2%. So I think we can continue. Ayomide.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. All right, thank you. So now to a part here, we have sorting. Sorting. Sorting is just rearranging our data set according to a pre-described procedure. Like, okay, so I want to see it. This is a data set here. Now, this is a range. Let me start from there. Yeah, this is a range. It is not a table. The fact that it is presented in a tabular form is not does not mean it is a table yet. It is still a range. So this is just I'll call this range J5 to J5 to I would like to scroll down to wow. That's J5 to R124. So that's still a range. How do I know this is a range? This is because I've not converted it into a table. But then, how do you know if your data is a table or a range? There will be an additional ribbon if it is a table. We call it a design ribbon. So the design ribbon will be there. But here now, I'm clicked within this table. It is not a table. So I'm clicked within this range and I can't find my design ribbon. So it is not a table. It is still a range. Okay, so now this we are given this range. I want to sort. So to sort my data, I first need to activate what we call filter button. Filter button. So to activate filter button, we have different ways to do this. The first way to do this is to click within that range, then go to your data ribbon. Data ribbon here is after my formulas ribbon. So this is my data ribbon. Then in this sort and filter group, you can see your filter tab here. So once I click that, it activates a filter button. So you can see the filter buttons. So that's the first way to activate your filter button. Then after activating the filter button, you can then sort according to the way you want to. So here now we have some questions here. You are told to sort want to see the highest order of profits. This question is like a 3-in-1 here. The first thing we want to see is highest order of profits, which simply means the highest profit. So after activating my filter button, I come here to that profit column. You know, I said column is um column is vertical while the row is horizontal, right? So this is our column P. That's where the profit column is. So just come to the filter button, then you sort. Now let me zoom this in. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Okay, so we can see this clearly. If I want to sort, we can see you can sort from smallest to largest. Smallest to largest. This is a numeric column. So smallest to largest. If you want to sort, that's if you want to see in ascending order from the lowest profit to the largest profit, and then you have another option to sort from largest to smallest. So that's that. There's another option to sort by color. That's if you have colors within that range and you want to sort, let's say you want to see if there are some cells in color red and you want them to come first, you can sort by color. But here we want to sort, we want to see the highest profit. So I'll be sorting from largest to smallest. Then here I can see that the highest profit is $269, 269,190 dollars. So that's the highest profit, and that answers the first part of the question. Now we'll leave us to answer the remaining parts of the question. I'm coming. So I'll leave us to answer the remaining part of the question. The next part is saying what is the highest quantity sold. So that means we'll be sorting the quantity column. And the last part is saying what is the lowest cost. And you know you are dealing with the cost column. Now, I said we have several ways to activate the filter button, right? Another way to do this is, let me deactivate it. To deactivate this filter button, like to make it leave, you can come back here and uncheck. So deactivate it. Now, a shorter way to activate this is using your shortcut Control Shift L. So to do this, you press down your Control button, your Shift button, and L. as L. That's let me write it here so we see control, then plus your shift button. You know where your shift button is, right? Then plus your L, so control shift L. That was how I activated it. If you want to deactivate as well, control shift L also deactivates it. So just press your control shift L to deactivate the filter button. So instead of going into your data tab to look for it, you can just use that. You can note that control shift L. It brings up and takes down your filter button. Another way to activate this filter button is by turning this range into a table. You can simply convert this range into a table, but then we have a section for tables, so I will be doing that in that section. But I guess we can answer the remaining part of these questions ourselves, right? Let's answer and let's do that and put the answer here. The answers here. Now that's the particular sorting almost everyone knows, right? Now there is more to sorting. Yes, there is more to sorting. Now let's look at the second question here. You are told to sort the sales agent alphabetically, then sort your profit in ascending order. So now one thing you notice about sorting is if I sort, assuming I sort this sales ID in ascending order, and you can see now that these sales IDs are in ascending order. If I try to sort something else, let's say I want to sort my country in ascending order as well. If I sort this, what I sorted at first gets disarranged, like it scatters. That's because you can only sort on one particular column at a time, like that, right? That's it. But then there's a way to actually sort two or more columns at once. We call that um, two-level sorting. It's not even just two level alone, multiple level sorting. You can sort three or more columns together at once. So let me show us how we do that. So this time around, you go to your data tab, yeah, still in your sort and filter ribbon. This time around, we'll be clicking on sort. I hope you can see this. Let me zoom that in. Sort. Can you see this sort tab? So I'll click on this sort tab. Now I can see a dialog box here. The first sorting I did, the last one I did where I sorted countries, right? But now let's answer this question. We are told to sort the sales agent alphabetically, then show the profit in ascending order. So I want to sort the sales agent. So yeah, this are the columns in my range. So I pick my sales agents and I sort alphabetically, that is A to Z. Then now, while this is still sorted, I want to sort my profits in ascending order, that's from lowest to largest. So all I need to do is add level. So now it's already a two-level sorting. If I had one more level to that, that's a multiple level sorting because it's more than two. So I want to sort my profit. This time around, I'll be selecting the profit column. Then I'm sorting that from smallest, ascending order. So that's smallest to largest. Then click OK. So let's look at this. Let me zoom out and let's have a broader look at this. If we see what happened here, we can see that I have my sales agents in ascending order. You can see that all the order for Andrews came together. Then you can now move to, after all the orders for Andrew, you can move to the next sales agent, which is Gil, and then like that to the end. So, but then the second part of the question says sort the profit in ascending order as well. Now you can see that Andrew is sorted together, and the sales agent is sorted in ascending order. We can see all orders for Andrew. Now, if you come to your profit column, because I sorted the profit column next, you can see that after sorting the sales agent, it sorted the profit. So now looking here, I can see Andrew's profit from lowest to largest. You can see 35.39 to the last 1 year for Andrew, which is $256,770. So it sorted that. Then it moved to the next. That's Gil. It sorted Gil's order again from the lowest to the largest. So the answer to this question, we are told to get lowest profit for Gil, which should be what is here, which is 37,000. $500. So that would be the answer to be entered here, because I sorted in a 2-level sorting. So before moving to the next aspect, I don't know if we got that, and if there's any question, please. Okay, let me check. Yes, you can answer the rest. It is okay. I don't know. Yeah, if your worksheet is inactive, probably you are yet to, when you open your worksheet, and you see an option up to activate. Sorry, you see an option to make it active. You're lost. You should be able to modify it. It should be active. If you close your Excel workbook, let me close mine and open again to try it. Sorry. Okay, it's not even asking me for that. There will be an option for you to activate it up. Please check that. You should be able to make it active, please. Yeah, edit tab. Exactly. Thank you. Edit tab. So you should be able to do that. Okay. So please, can we see my screen now? Okay. All right. So moving to the next aspect now, we have range versus table. So I told us earlier that that our data is in a tabular form does not mean it is a table yet. We have to turn it into a table before it becomes a table. So it is still a range. So we have a range here. Now I want to turn this into a table, right? So to convert our range into a table, we can do that. We have different ways to do that. The first way is to go to your data tab, to your insert tab. Then you can see your table here. Table. I don't know if you can see this, if this is clear enough, if this is bold enough. Okay. Now this is a range. I want to convert it into a table. Go to your insert tab, then you can see your table, your insert ribbon. You can see your table tab. Then you click this to turn this table into a range. So I do that by clicking this, and now it's asking me my table has an header, right? Yeah, because I have headers for this table. That's I have titles for this table. That is why I will leave this selected. So my table has an header. I check that and I click OK. So now this is a table. We can now see my design tab up here. Design tab, which is a table 2 up here. Yeah. So this is now a table. The former one is just a range and it is not a table. Let me make this black. Sorry. So this is a table, right? Now there are different things we can do with a table. One thing you notice about a table is that immediately I turned this into a table, my filter tab came up with it automatically, like it came up with it. So I can choose to deactivate it, I can choose to put it off, right? But then once you turn a range into a table, your filter tab comes up, it gets activated. You can identify the table with this design tab, right? So this design tab makes you know that you're working on a table. If you go to this sorting now, this is a range. You can't find the design tab here because this is a range. But here now, this is a table because I changed it into a table. One other thing you can do with your table is you can name your table. You can rename it for easy referencing. So here, to rename my table, every editing you want to do with your table, you do it on this your design tab. So on this my design tab, towards the left, you can see my table name. Currently, this table name is table 2. So if you want to change it to your name that you want, your a suitable name. Let's say I want to name this table range underscore table. You can do that here. So just change the name of the table here. Let me just name it range table. Range now. If I want to write the table, naming a table or naming a table here does not accept space. So you can either use an underscore, or you can just use a capital letter to start the next word. So range table, you can use capital letter to start the next, or you can use an underscore, but then it won't accept space. So let me just name this range table. So now my table have a name. If I want to reference this table without having to come down to this sheet from anywhere, I can do that since I know the name of my table now. So that's one thing you can do. What other thing? It is easier to format. You can see different table styles here. So this is blue. If I can decide I want it to be yellow, you can pick that. You can pick different table styles here. So the table is easier to format, and yeah, you can add header row. Yeah, this header row. I can decide to put that off or put that on. I can add banded rows. Can you see that? I can I can remove it. I can add it back. I can add banded columns. I can bold in my first column or bold in my last column. So you can play around this. The table is easier to format. You can also activate your filter and deactivate your filter button here. I mentioned it that immediately you're creating a table, your filter button comes up with it. But then with in your design tab, you can deactivate that and you can put that on and put that off as well. Yes, that's what you can do. Now, the most interesting part of the table is your total row. I call it magic total rows, right? So instead of having to, if I want to perform aggregations on this table, and instead of I want to sum the cost, instead of having to start using my function, entering my sum function, my average function, I can easily get this with my total rows. So this once all you need to do is just to check this total row button, and you have a total row for you to do your aggregation. So now with this total row, let me use my price column now. I can check, I can get the average price here. I can count if I want to. I can get the minimum price instead of having to look through the table one after the other. I can get that, and I can also get the maximum price. I can sum. I can get the standard deviation. I can perform some basic aggregation on it with that total row. I don't know if you got that. Okay. Okay, I assume we got that. All right. So with the total row, you can perform basic aggregation on your table. Yes. And another thing again about table is with just a single click, you can select a whole column. So all I need to do is just to come here. Let me zoom in to do that. So I want to select the cost column. Instead of having to click here and start doing control shift down to select. Since it is a table, once I bring my cursor, this thing moving around is the cursor. Once I bring my cursor on this up here to get this downward pointing arrow, and I click once, I get my table selected. So my table is I see my table, my column, the cost column is highlighted. If I want to highlight the column with the header, I click once more. So the column is highlighted with the header as well. Then so you can do that to highlight the cost column You can do that with any other column, and you can also do that with any rows as well. I want to highlight this row. Just make sure you get that pointing that arrow, then you click to select. So that's one thing you can do because it is a table. It is easier to do that. Another thing you can do with the table is, let's assume you want to sort, but then you don't want to sort in ascending order or in descending order, but probably you just want to sort by maybe I just want Thompson to be the first in this table. If I want to sort in ascending order, well, whether I sort in ascending or descending order, let's say Jones, whether either I sort in ascending or in descending order, Jones will not come first. So, but then I want Jones to come first. I can sort this. I can do that by dragging my row. So all I have to do now is select that particular row you want to move. Like I select it, then bring your cursor here on this line. Make sure you are seeing these 4 arrows. Then click down, left click down and drag. So you can drag that particular row to any position you want. So I'll give us 30 seconds to try this to see if it works. What I did was I wanted to move Jones up. Okay, let's say I want to move Morgan up, and I select that. I want to move this row up, right? Select the row. Make sure you get that and put your cursor on this on that line. Make sure you get those 4 arrows. Then left click down and drag, just drag within that table and drag to wherever you want to drop it, and then release your hand. So let's try that. Please, I need feedback. Got it. Okay, so Mohammed, so I need one more person. If you're able to do that. Are we able to do the yes? Okay. All right. Thank you, Rukayat. All right. So that is okay. Another thing with table is this. If I want to perform, let's say I want to do a sum here. Let's say here I want to add quantity with sorry, I want to add, yeah, just for example's sake, I want to add quantity with price here, and I click enter. Because it is a table, it automatically fills down. If it was range, I will have to drag it down, but because it is a table, it automatically fills it down. So that's another advantage of table. Another thing again about table is you can add slicer, you can view, you can activate a slicer button with that. You can insert slicer to, this is just to see 2 or more variables within your data. So just go to your insert tab. Like I mentioned earlier, anything that deals with you bringing in stuff into your Excel basically can be found in your insert tab. So once you are bringing in stuff, introducing stuff, just the first tab, the first ribbon to tick off should be your insert ribbon. So now I can see here in my filters group, you can see slicer and timeline. So you can insert slicer. So now once you click the insert slicer, all the column headers in that particular table will be brought up for you. So you want to view your table by what? Okay, so I want to view my table by brands, right? So once you select that and you click OK, yeah, you get a slicer for that. So what this slicer do for us is, if I want to see entries, I want to see entries for trophy alone. Once I click trophy, it filters it down to trophy alone. You can see all the entries for trophy. So you can do that for better mods. You can do that for any. And if it's by country you want to do that, you insert your country column and you do that. You can clear this by clicking on this clear filter here. and that is gone. Okay, and you can, yes, you can also see two or more variables. You can decide you want to see beta mode and trophy. How you do that is click your control button down, click on beta mode and click on trophy. So the entries for those two will be given to you. So that's another advantage of turning your data into a table. So let me delete this. Now another thing is, I can, if I decide that I don't want a table again, maybe I'm done with all the formatting I want to do, or additions I want to make, and I want to convert back to range. I don't want a table again. I want to see a range. I can easily do that. Still on my design tab, I will come to my tools group. Or still on my design ribbon, come to my two groups, and then you can see convert to range. Let me zoom that in. Convert to range. So once you click that, Excel will ask you, do you want to convert this table to a normal range? And you click OK. Once you do that, you see that this is now a range. That design ribbon is no longer here. So this is now a range. So that will be all on range versus table. Any question before I move further? Okay, any question? Can I get a no if there is no question? All right. So no question, none from you. Okay. All right then. If that's then, let's move to filtering. Okay, now filtering. The other time when we worked on sorting, we could see that sorting, when we sorted, we could still see all our entries, right? Just that we gave priority to some important ones. But then in filtering, if you want to filter when you're filtering, you're narrowing down your data to just the important ones, just what you want to see. So now I want to convert this into a table. I hope we're trying this out. So convert this into a table. Now, the other time I showed us how to convert a range into a table by going to the data tab, right? Now, I want to use the shortcut Control T, T for table. So Control T. Once you click within that range and click your Control T, then you get the dialog box for the table. My table has headers, then I click OK. So now I have a table, right? So this is a table now. I want to just, I decided to turn it into a table to get my filter button. Now I want to filter, right? Looking at these questions here, using your filter option, they ask to provide the result for these questions below. The first thing they want to see is the average quantity sold in Nigeria.
Hi,
Okay.
Abigail.
Yes.
I'm sorry to cut you short. So we got like two quick questions on Slicer. The participant would like you to sort of go over Slicer again, how to make use of it. Sorry to cut you back, please.
All right. So going over slicer, let me use this. Um, hold on. I'm with you. Sorry. I think there's something wrong. Sorry. I need to open. I'm coming, please. I need to open the Excel again. Okay. I'm trying to open the Excel again. Sorry for that. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, so can we see my screen now? Ajibola, please can you see my screen? Yes, all right, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to use this. I'm going to create the filter again with this table here since I converted it into a table already. So how to do that is, I said once it involves bringing in anything into your Excel, you should consider your insert ribbon. So while click within the table, go to your insert ribbon. Then you can find your slicer in your filter group. So this is the slicer, just click in. Now I said you can slice by any column in your table. So the other time I sliced by brands, right? So this time around, let's do that by country. Let me slice by country. So I want to summarize, I want to filter by country. So I'll be clicking country, then I click OK. So Excel brings this up, this button. So with this button now, if I want to see transactions for Togo alone, I click Togo, Excel narrows down to Togo alone. I don't know if you got that. If I want to see for Nigeria alone, I click that, Excel narrows down to Nigeria. If I want to see for Benin, I click that, Excel narrows down to Benin. But if I want to see for both Nigeria and Ghana, all I need to do is click on Ghana, then press down my control button and click on Nigeria. So Excel pops up transactions for these two countries. I don't know, is the answer being the questions are the questions I don't know. Is that clear? Please zoom the screen. Okay, I will do that. But is that clear now? All right, thank you, Esther. Okay, thank you, Esther. All right, so moving forward. Now, this is okay. I'm done with this filter. I can clear that and delete. So to clear the filter, I pressed on this. You can see this funnel with an X on it. You can just click it to clear filter, and then you delete the filter. And I said filter. Delete the slicer. So now moving to the filter, to filtering now. I said that unlike sorting, where we add the data, just that we gave priority to some important ones, like we arrange. Now in filtering, we are narrowing our data down to just what we want to see. Do you get? So we want to see just what we want to see. So now if I want to see orders for Nigeria alone, I can just simply come. You can see my filter button is here. Click the filter button. You can see the countries selected here. So just uncheck all and click for the particular country you want to see. So I want to see for Nigeria alone. Now this is for Nigeria alone. Now, having filtered to Nigeria alone, I can answer that question. The first question, average quantity sold in Nigeria. I think the other time I showed us how to activate our total button, right? The total button helps us to make and do faster aggregation. So I'm going to activate the filter button here. This is a table. So I go to my design tab and I check these total rows. Now I can answer this question. I'm filtered to Nigeria. I can now check the average quantity sold in Nigeria. So I go to quantity column, then I can do average. So the average quantity sold in Nigeria is 877, right? So now one thing about filtering is once you're done answering that, once you're done using one particular filter, you have to undo the filter, like clear filter. And how to do this is come back to the particular column you filtered. How do you know the column that is filtered? Let me zoom in. How do you know the column that is filtered? If you look at these filter buttons, the columns that are filtered, you will see a funnel next to the filter, to the button. So this is how you know that this particular column is filtered. If you have 2 or more columns filtered, just look out for the funnel. If it is for sorting, if the column is sorted, you will see an upward. If it's sorted as an ascending order, you see an upward pointing arrow. That's to tell you, okay, this column is sorted, or these columns are sorted. But then if you see it downward, you know it's sorted in descending order. That's for sort. But for filtering, you see your funnel. The funnel will be next to that button. That's how you know that, okay, this column is sorted. So how do I clear the filter? The filter. Just click that, and you can see clear filter from countries, right? So just click that to clear filter. So yeah, let me undo. So I cleared filter. I have all my data back. Now to answer the second question, total sales generated for malt drink. Malt drink. You know that, okay, I'm working with the brands, right? So your filter button, then you can see that we have, they said malt drinks. So we have different drinks, and but then here I can just see 2 malt drinks. I can see better malt and grand malt. So I can select these 2 and click OK. Then now the total sales generated. So this is the sales, this is my sales column. Then I can now sum the sales column to get the total sales generated. Like that, I've answered that question. So I'll be leaving the third question to us. Let us answer the question. Average cost of trophy drink. So I want to clear this filter. I filtered to, let's assume I filtered on about 4 columns, and I don't want to start going one after the other to clear those filter. I can just simply clear all filter by going to my data tab and unchecking the filter tab. Once you uncheck the filter, everything, you see that the filter button goes off and your data comes up in all, so you don't have to start doing it one after the other. So I cleared filter already. So I'll be leaving us with that last question, average cost of trophy drink. So moving to the next, any question? Okay. Any question?
No question from the YouTube, but once we get the question, we'll show you if
All
you get
right.
the question.
All right. Thank you, Ajibal. All right, Rukayat. Thank you. So moving to the next, clean and trim. Clean and trim. So most times you get data, your data comes dirty, and you need to, before you can use it, you need to clean, to perform some cleaning or to do some cleaning on your data set. So there are some functions that help us with that. But now on this particular, in this particular aspect, you are dealing with clean and trim. So
Please, can you zoom in?
yes, I will. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Welcome. Is it fine like this? So is it fine?
Better, better.
All right, thank you. So clean and trim. So there are 2 different functions, the clean function and the trim functions. What the clean function does for us is we use it to remove on non-printable characters. So we use it to remove non-printable characters from our cell. Like now, let's look at this table here. You can see in this product, you can see there is this box looking character here, and I want to remove it. So it might not come as box, it might come as something else. Once it is a non-printable character, or even when you are not sure that you have a non-printable character in your cell or in your columns, and you want to remove them, you just want to be sure, you can just clean that particular column. So it is a function. Just enter your equal sign, then your clean function. This is it. Okay, you can even see it removes all non-printable characters from text. So select the clean function, then click on the particular cell you want to clean. Close your bracket and enter. It removes that. I don't know if you got that. 10 seconds to try that. The clean function. So you can just note it. Very important. If you're a data analyst, you get to use this function time to time. The clean function. I guess that's clear. Now, the second function is the trim function. So this, the clean remove non-printable character. The trim functions helps us remove unwanted spaces. So what the trim function does is it looks into the cell or the data you want to trim, and it removes all those unwanted spaces. So aside the one space that is supposed to be between two words, any other space, the trim function will remove it for you. So that's just the trim function. So we can see that these product details, we can see paragraph, then some wanted spaces, then 5 mg and the like. So your trim function will help you look through it and remove it. So we are going to use, it's just as the spelling implies, trim. So I want to trim this product detail, right? Then close the bracket and enter. So that's all. If you look at this, what we have now, you can see that all those unnecessary spaces were removed. So that's what trim does for us. So yeah, it helps us to remove that. Now, this last part now, trim and clean. Um, if you have a particular column that has both non-printable characters and unwanted, unnecessary spaces, and you don't have to start using those functions one after the other. You can combine the functions together. We call it, when you combine two or more functions, we call it nexting of functions in Excel. That's you nexting the function. So you can next these two, the clean and the trim function together, and use them. So we can see here in this example here, in this data here, we can see that we have the non-printable character and also the unwanted spaces. So how do I do that? You enter your equal sign, enter your clean function, and then immediately enter your trim as well. It can be trim, clean, trim, whichever way you want it. Um, just enter the function. Now click in the text, then close the bracket. Now note something. Since I entered two functions, I am closing two brackets. So the first bracket, you can see is red, is closing the trim function. Then the second one will be closing the clean function. So when you enter your function, wait until when you get the black closing bracket, then yes, you are done. Then you can now click enter. So that is that. Is that clear? I'll give us 10 seconds to try that out. So once we get it, please let's drop a message. Okay. I don't know if this is for now. Please let's drop message when we get that. Okay. So which part should I do again? Is it the next thing or the... So I think we all know how to undo in Excel. Control Z, Control Z. So I'll be entering my Control Z to clear that. So that's to undo. Now she said, someone said I should try this again. So my equal sign, my trim function, and I said either of the functions can come first, right? So you can either have your trim first or your clean first. So anyways, you get your results. So trim, clean, I want to trim and clean this. And I said when closing your bracket, the first red is for the clean, right? And the next one is for the, when you get the black one, is for the final closing. So you can click your enter. So I don't know if that is fine now. The slide is not visible. Can you go to settings, then to advanced and increase the height?
Abigail, so I'm trying to respond to the person that said the slide is not visible. So that's why I put up that chat there. That you should go to the settings,
All
advanced, and
right.
increase the
Oh,
resolution.
okay.
So, but Abigail, if possible, maybe you can zoom in a bit also, especially for those that are looking at it through their phone.
All right. I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so that's all on clean and function, clean and trim. So moving to the next, we have the text format function. The text format function. So what do this they're just various, these are just, I have three functions here. They just help us to format our text in Excel. That's just it. So yeah, text format. Let me answer these questions here. So we can see that we have brands here and different brands, but if you notice, these brands are written in lowercase, right? Now we want to this long story here is just telling us to write these brands in proper case. When I say proper, that is first letter capital, right? So proper case, that's it. So as the name implies, that's same. The name as the name implies, that's same as what the function will be using. So we'll be using the proper function for this. We want to get the first letter capital, right? So just insert your equal sign, then your proper proper yeah, it converts, you can see here it converts the, let me zoom in, sorry, okay, proper. So it converts text strings to proper case. That is, it's the first letter in each word in uppercase. That's just it. So click on that function, then click on what you want to convert, then close the bracket and enter. So we can see that we have all the brand names in proper case. So that's that. Then what about if you want it in block letters, we want it in capital letters all through, we use our upper function. So I made this just in case we don't want to remember the names of these functions. That's why I made sure that the column title are the names of those functions, because since I'll be giving an additional PowerPoint slide, so I made it as easy as that. So when you want to do that, you can remember the name of the function. So for this, we are using the upper function. So this converts text strings to all uppercase. So upper, then what do I want to convert? I want to convert the brands. Close your brackets, your enter, and we have the brands in upper case. Very simple. Then now to lower case. Now let's assume you were given your brands in upper case like this, and you want it in lower case, just like this. You can easily do that by inserting your equal sign, your lower function. Your lower function. You can see it converts all letters in it converts all letters in the text string to lowercase. So your lower function, then let me use this. Then that means I want to convert all these uppercase brands. I want to convert them to lowercase. So I click enter and I have it. It's as simple as that. So I don't know, is that clear before I move to the next?
No question for now. Once we get any question, we are going to let you know or show in
All
the
right.
chat box.
Okay, thank you. So moving to the date format function. The date format function. So yeah, it's the date format function here. Let's look at the question. Basically what we want to see here is we want to convert. We have a date. We're given dates here. So what do we want to do? We want to get the month number, the day, and the year. Okay, the month, the day, and the year, not month number. Sorry about that. I want to get the month, the day, and the year. So using the text, okay, I put it here using the text
Can
function.
you zoom in, please?
Okay, so what I'll just do about this zooming in is let me just zoom everything in so I don't keep forgetting. So when I get there, I don't keep forgetting. Thank you, Ajibola.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So like I said earlier, I made sure that there is a clue for the function we'll be using because I gave us this Excel workbook. So whenever you open the workbook, you remember the function we'll be using. But at least now you know the function. Now here we are given date. Yeah, you are given the date column, but you are told to extract the month, the ignore the number there, total to extract the month, the day, and the year. So here now, looking at the first date, it's obvious that this date means on the 24th of February 2013. But then, are we going to start writing it one after the other? Or what? Well, what I want to do is I want Excel to write it out. Look at the months for each of the dates and give me the month name. So we have a function for this. It's called the text function. So the text function, just your equal sign, your text function, and now you can see this function is requesting for two entries. The first is the value, right? So what is the value? This is the value I want to extract from. Then your comma. Now you can see that the next thing, the next bolding thing is the format text. It's telling you what format do you want, in what format do you want to see the month. So now I said month, right? All I have to do is just to open quotes. Now, one thing is when entering sorry, I'm distracted. When entering text into your function, they should always be in quotes. Sorry, please, a minute, guys. I'm sorry. I'm coming.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. I'm back. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay, so when entering this text is a function. When entering a text or yeah, into a function, once it's not that you are referencing a column or putting a numerical value, once you are putting a text, space is a text. Yeah, once you are putting a text into your function, you must put it in quotes so that Excel identifies it as a text. So this is a text. What I want to write next is months. That's MMM and like it's a text. So that's why I opened my quotes. So I want to see the month. Let's say I want to see if this is February. So I want Excel to write February in full. So I'm going to enter M. M is for month. So I'm going to enter 4 M's. So and then close that quote. Note that that's double quote. I started with double quote, so I'm ending with double quote. So close that quote. I'm going to do that again. So I got February, Control Z. Let me do that again. Your equal sign, your text function. Now, what value do you want to convert to month? This is the date. Then what format do you want? I want month, right? And I want it in full. So I enter my MMM. I entered 4 M's, right? Note that this it is not case sensitive. So if you enter in capital letter or you enter in small letter, it still gives you the same output. So I entered my 4 M's and I closed the bracket and I got this. So it looked at this date and extracted the month for me in full. If you got this, I'm going to do something else. Let's assume we don't want the month in full. Maybe I just want for October, I want or that is OCT, just OCT. So all I need to do is just remove one of the M's and limit the M's to 3 M's and click enter. Then I got this. Do you get? Another thing, if you don't want the month in, maybe you don't want to see the months in text, you want to just see you just want to extract the months in numbers, just remove one more m and make the m just two m's. Once you do that, you get this. So this is the month number. So that is that. I don't know if that is clear. Okay.
It's clear from my end. I'm sure if it's not clear, we'll get a chance.
Okay, all right. Now for the day, just the same, it's still the same function, but this time around, month is M, so day will be D. So your equal sign, your text function, the the value you want to convert, then for day, open your quote. Don't forget that's your quote. Then I want the day in full, then close the bracket and enter. So this is what I got Sunday. So it's telling me that, oh, this date is on a Sunday. So I got the day of the week that it falls in. If I don't want that, if I want it short, I can remove one of the D's and I get this. Then if I say, okay, I don't want the day it falls in. I don't want the day of the week it falls in. I want the date, like, is it on the 1st or on the 30th? I want that date. I don't want the day of the week. Just remove one more D and you get that. So this is 24th. So you can get this. I don't know. I'm sure that is clear. Let's go to the next one. For the year, the same text function. Then what is your value? This is my value. Then what year? This time around for year, you write your year in full and enter. So you got the year. If I remove one more y, I get the same thing because there is no short form for this. But then if I remove another y and just write two y's, I get this, which is telling me it's just the last part, like 13. When I see 13, I know that's 2013. But then I wouldn't want it that way. Let me just have it in full. Let me just have it in full. I told you that this is not case sensitive, so no matter how you write it, you still get your output. So I want this day. Okay, I like this day like this. But then I want this month in full. So let me add the end. So that's that. I hope that is clear. All right, that is clear, right? So moving to the next function, text to column function. Okay, so text to column. Here now we have the same. Okay, so this text to column now, um, the other date function gave us the days of the week. Here, text to column helps us to split our column into multiple. It split our text column into multiple columns. That's just it. Want to split this date into multiple columns. That's what I want to do here is I just want to split. I want to see 2 here, I want to see 24, and I want to see 13. That's just it. That's the splitting. So let me first take us through what text to column is about and what text to column can do for us. Um, our text to column is on our data tab. So data tab, I'll go to my data tab, uh, my data ribbon. I'm on my data ribbon. This is my data ribbon. Then I come to my text to column. You can see it in the data tool group. You can see the text to column. Let me zoom in to make that more visible. Can you see the text to column? So this is it, text to column. Okay, no data was selected. Before you use your text to column, you have to highlight the cell that you want to format. So this is a table, so I can easily highlight with just one click. So it is highlighted. Now I'll go back to my data ribbon, then go to my text to column tab. Now this is text to column. Sorry about that, please. Okay, so this is my text to column ribbon. We have different things we can do with the text to column. I'm coming, please. 1 minute, guys. Sorry. I am still here. I want to check. I think I got a private chat. Okay, we have a lot to cover and we have limited time. So I'll be try and be faster with this. But then, okay, so text to column, go to your data tab in your data tools group. You see your text to column ribbon. Oh, like I said, no data is selected. Did I remove Control Z? I deleted this. Sorry. So I like this. I like this text to column. So this text to column, it helps us to, what the text to columns help us to do is it helps us to split the column according to, we can split by delimiter. When I say delimiter, I mean separators. So it helps us to split either by separators or by fixed width. Now, let me start with this fixed width. If I am splitting my data with fixed width, that means that the data um, must have the same length. That's the same prefix and suffix. Let's assume what we have here is, let's say I have carbon, carton, cartoon. They all start with, or data. They all start with three letter prefix. You get, and I want to split them. I can use my fixed width. I know, okay, I am splitting. If I click on, let me even use the example here. Look at this dialog box. If I click on fixed width and I click on next, you can see there is a ruler here. I can only split by wherever I draw the line is where the breaking will happen. So if I fix a line here, that means split this data on that point.
I am sorry. Okay, we could not see your mouse before or where you are referring to.
Oh, how about now?
Please move,
Dialogue.
move the mouse.
Now I get. I think I shared. Oh, okay. What happened was that I shared just I will have to share my screen again. I shared just a tab. So let me share again. Let me present it again. And this time
Okay,
around, I'll share in full screen so you can see the dialog box.
okay,
Um,
okay.
I'll share my entire screen. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now, please, can we see my screen? Sorry, please, can we see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. Is the Excel workbook clear? Okay. So yeah, now I said fixed width. Now, when when I want to split by fixed width and I click next, you can see there is a ruler here. Wherever I draw the line is where the splitting will happen. So I'm splitting by fixed. Splitting same width across the column. So this can only be useful when we have equal prefix or suffix, when what we want to split. So that's just that on fixed width. But then in this our example, we won't be able to use fixed width. We'll be using delimiter. So what delimiter helps us to do is split by separators. Separators are comma, space, hyphen, and like they are separators. So I'm going to click on delimited. Now these are the delimiters here. Tab, is the separator, is it a semicolon, is it a comma, is it a space? Then if it is not listed here, you have the option for others. In this our case, I'll be using others. That is because I want to split by this forward slash. So let me remove that. Look at this data preview. Ajibola, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see a screen now.
Yes. So this data preview now, you can see what we have. It's just for you to see. This data preview gives you the opportunity to see what you're doing and what your end result will look like. So yeah, this data preview now, I have this. Now, if I enter my Afin, you can see what the splitting will look like. You can see what the splitting will look like because my separator here is the forward slash or backward slash. So I click my next. Now we have the opportunity to paste what destination we want to put it. So I can click on this destination. This is what I did. I clicked here. This box here to take me to the is for me to go and identify the destination. If I do not pick destination, it does the splitting. It starts on the particular cell I am clicked on. So I click on destination. Now, where do I want to do the splitting? I want it here. I want it to start on month number. That means I still want to retain these dates while I see the splitted columns here. So I click here, I click in, then finish. Do you want their data there? Okay. Yeah, so this is what I got. I'm going to go over that again for the sake of those that did not get that. Okay, so this is I selected. Note that I have the column I want to split highlighted. Then I go to my data ribbon. I come to my sort and filter group, and sorry, I come to my data tools group. Then I come to my text to column. Now I am splitting by delimiter. I click next. Now I'm splitting by forward slash. So I click others and I enter the delimiter. I click next because I want to select destination. So this time around, the destination, this is on cell. If I leave it like this, it's going to do the splitting on cell I6, which is on this particular cell. And that's not what I want. I want it to be located on cell J6. It should start on J6, right? So I'll go back, I'll click this destination, then select the destination I want, come back and complete the task. There's this pop-up button, there's data there, it brings that up. So just click OK, and you have this. I hope that's clear. So I will be leaving us to do this last part ourselves, this second question. So we have the states. These are United States states and code. You get. So we have the states and the code. But what I want to do now is I want to separate the state from the code. I want to have the states here and the codes here. So I'll be leaving us to do that ourselves. And note that the delimiter here is space, the separator here is space. So just note that and do that yourself. Now there's another task as well. We'll be doing that ourselves as well. So we have the staff. This is staff info. In this staff data, we have the first name, the last name, the email address, and the position all together, marbled up. Now we want to separate them to different columns. So here now, if you notice, looking at this first one, let me zoom in. Eric Johnson. Eric is the first name, Johnson is the last name, right? The separator is an underscore. Then another underscore to separate. The next thing is an email, right? Then there's another underscore, then the position. Same thing for the rest. So I want us to separate it. We know the separator is an underscore. So let's separate it. First name, last name, email, and position. So I'll also be leaving us to do that ourselves. I don't know, Ajibade, will they be submitting this workbook back? I don't know.
Well, we'll communicate with them on that part. And
All
if
right.
they will be submitting, we'll let you know.
All right, thank you. So let us practice. I'll be leaving us to do that. So moving to the next point now is we have conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. When we say conditional formatting, what conditional formatting simply helps us do is it helps us to spot, it's just the format to help us spot some trends and patterns in our data. It just conditional formatting just helps us to visually highlight some important values. We use colors, we use bars, we use icons, we use them to highlight trends, to note trends. And our conditional formatting tab is located in our home ribbon. So here now I'll click within the range. This is a range, it is not a table. I click within the range, then I go to my home tab, my home ribbon. Then I can see it here in my slides and styles group. You can see the conditional formatting ribbon here. It's in my home ribbon. So this is the conditional formatting tab. So this is it. Okay, you can even see it easily. It helps us to easily spot trends and pattern in our data. So that's just the conditional formatting. So let me take us through the conditional formatting that we have. We have different rules. Starting here, we have the highlight sales rule. So what these highlight sales rules help us to do is, let's say, let me go back. For example, okay, I will be working with my unit price, or let me say cost. Let me work with cost column here. So I'm highlighting the cost column. Sorry. I can highlight this control button, then the shift button, then the down arrow to highlight that. Let's note that control button, shift and down. So I'm coming to my conditional formatting tab. I highlighted that place now. Now this highlight cells rule now is saying that what do you want to highlight? The first one is the greater than. If you click on the greater than, you can see you can enter the value. So if I want to highlight costs that are greater than, looking at the cost column now, if I want to highlight costs that are greater than 200,000, all I have to do is just put the 200,000 in here, 200,000. Then yeah, you have the opportunity to select the colors you want. Do you want to highlight with a yellow, with a red, with a light red? So 200,000 is high, so let's work with green. So I want to highlight with green. If I click OK, you can see here it's it's highlighted the cost that is higher than 200,000. If I look through this column, any other value that is higher than I need to zoom out to show that any other value that is higher than 200 will be selected. But then we can see that this is the only value that is higher than 200. So it highlighted it. It only noted it. Do you get? So with the color I wanted. So I can select this. Oh, sorry, this is not a table. I was trying to select everything. I forgot this is a range. So I will click here, Control Shift down to select that, and I will go back to my conditional formatting tab. Highlight cells rule. I want to highlight. So that was for greater than, right? Okay, so I don't want that again. I want to do, let me check the second one, less than as well. I can do less than, and I can also do values between. I can highlight values between 100 to 200,000. You can do that. I can highlight values that equal to, if I want an exact amount. If I had said highlight value that equal to 200, I wouldn't have gotten anything because there is no value that is equal to 200 there. Then you can do text that contain, if it was a text function, you can say text that contain what? Text that contain text that contains this or that, get. So that's that. That is the highlight cells rule. You can do a date occurring, you can do duplicate value. This helps us, you can use this to note our duplicate value. Okay, let me use this, duplicate values. If I highlight duplicate values here, if there are amounts here that are repeating, if there are months here that are repeating, it will highlight them. It will highlight the two of them. Like if I have two, or I have three 200,000, it will highlight the three of them. So that's that highlight sales rule. Then the next one, we have top bottom rules. This now I can highlight from this cost. Now I can say top 10, yeah, top 10, or let's say top five costs, and I said fill with red. You can see these are the top 5 costs. It's noted them. It picks the top 5. Can cancel that and go back and do another. See, if this is a percentage column, I can do top percentage, bottom 10 as well. If I want the lowest 10 cost, I'll click on bottom 10 rows and I do that as well. What else? Yeah, above average. If I want the costs that are above average, once I click this, it highlight them. These are the costs that are above average. Below average as well, you see below average. So there are more rules. You can play around that. Then we have data bar as well. Data bar now, with the data bar, you can see by let me do that. If I select data bar, let me do a solid view. Now you can see we can easily spot the trends here. With this data bar, I know that, oh, the highest cost is 203, right? So this is the highest cost because that is the bar that is filled, right? So I know, okay, this is the bar that is filled. Then the next one is what I can see 175, the okay, 177, 175, like that. It's just to help you in very fast, to help you spot trends and pattern. We have color scales as well. We have icon as well. Let me use this icon for example. Now I can see that this icon, now what is showing me now is the red ones that are pointing down. They are the low ones. The yellow ones that are pointing to the right, you can say those are average. Those are the middle point, and I can see the green ones pointing up are the high ones. So just like that, color scale to I performed one before. So yeah, color scale to it will help you see. Let me clear what I had before. So to clear your conditional formatting, you can see clear rule. So clear rule from selected cell. So this clear rule from selected cell will only clear the conditional formatting I did on that that particular cell that is selected. If I do clear rule from entire sheet, that's on this conditional formatting sheet, if there is any conditional formatting I have done, it will clear everything, whether it is on this table or it is in this range or not. It will clear everything. Then if there was a table, this clear rule from this table will be highlighted. You get, it will be bold. It is not bold because there is no table. I did not convert this to a table. So if there was a table, it will ask you, do you want to clear rule from just this table? Yeah, you can do that. Clear rule from pivot table as well. But then let me just clear rule from entire sheet. Yeah, so it clears. Now I can go back and now let me show us that color scale. The color scale just give us, when you see a thick red, okay, that's the lowest, because red signifies bad stuff. So the lowest is the red. Then the red that is lighter, okay, it's still bad but getting better. Then when you see those the very green one, that's the highest. So that's just color scale. So we can play around this and work on that. That's just conditional formatting. So now I'm giving us the assignment of using the conditional formatting to do this, to answer these questions. So the top 5 profits. So we'll be working on the profit column. This is the profit column. So highlight the top 5 countries. Then on the sales column, highlight sales that are greater than average. On the quantity column, highlight quantities that are the bottom 3 quantities, that's the lowest 3, right? Then on the cost column, yeah, use data bar to show the top cost in period. That's just put a data bar on that. So that is our assignment. Are we clear at this point? Please, I need a minute. My laptop is going down, so I need to put on the generator.
Okay, that's fine. So do we have any question for now for those of us that are on YouTube? Um, if you have any question, comments, while we wait for our facilitator to be back, you can send those questions or comment now.
Okay, so are there any questions?
No question. I've not
All
received
right,
any
so
question.
my sister will put on the gen for me. So pending the time she does that, let me continue because of our time. All right. So okay, yeah, the generator is on now. Okay, so moving to the next one, duplicates. Duplicates. How to remove duplicates. So I have a table here. What I did here is I used my conditional formatting to highlight the rows with duplicates just for us to see them at first. You can see Jennifer here and Jennifer here. They are repeated across board. You can see exactly the same values on the three columns, um, same as Chiamaka and the like. So yes, you can use your conditional formatting tab to note duplicates, and then you now use your remove duplicates to remove them. So now I want to remove these duplicates. How would I do that? Click within the table. This is a table. You can see that I have the design tab. So click within the table. Sorry, I'm with you. Click. Sorry. So click within the table and yeah, getting. Then go to your data tab. You can see in your data tool group, you see your remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. So I'm clicked within the table. Go to your remove duplicates. Now here you can see this dialog box here. It's asking you what do you want to remove duplicates by. Okay, so now um for this my particular table, for it to be considered duplicates, it must be the same thing across all the columns, right? If I have Chiamaka and Chiamaka here, but then the costs are not the same, I would not have considered them duplicates. Do you get? Because okay, they are the same name, but then they are not duplicates. So I wouldn't have considered them duplicates. So for me to consider duplicates, it should be the same across board. Hence why I will select all. I have all these columns selected. So I'm saying that look through these three columns and remove whatever is the same across these three columns. But then if the instruction was to remove duplicates by name, like I don't want the same name showing twice, then all you need to do is uncheck all and select just name. You get? Select name. Once you do that and you click OK, it removes duplicates across the name. Like it uses the name column as the criteria for removing the duplicates. But then I want to remove across board, right? So I select all and I remove duplicates. That's that. So three duplicates removed. Now note something. That I remove duplicate. Let me do Control Z. This is Chiamaka, this is Chiamaka. Excel is not removing the two Chiamakas. Oh. It will leave the first one and only remove maybe the second one. It removes just one for you. It won't remove all across. It won't remove all. It will remove just one and leave one for you. So the repeated one is what it removes. So that is that. So you don't need to be scared that will it remove everything? No, you can see Chiamaka, Jennifer, Chiamaka. So now let me remove duplicate again. I'm removing across board. I said okay. Then you can see it left me with Chiamaka and Jennifer, but then just one. It did not remove all of them. It removed just the duplicated one. Are we clear?
Okay. Sorry. So we do not have any question yet on duplicates, but we have a question on the conditional formatting. Israel was asking if you use the conditional formatting for good, bad, and normal, and probably
The
can
ones
show you.
I highlighted, Abby.
Yeah, for under the conditional formatting, not under duplicate.
I don't get.
Okay, you remember you mentioned that there's a time we were doing this conditional formatting and
Okay.
you did some color coding, red, green, and something like that.
Okay. So she wants me
So you
to
was
do that.
asking if you can repeat. Yes.
All right. So how I go about that? Let me just do that with this. Okay. Conditional formatting. Let me do that with unit cost column. So you highlight the column, go to your home tab, go to your conditional formatting, go to your home ribbon, go to your conditional formatting tab. And what I did there was color scale, right? Was this what we was talking about?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. If
So
not,
color
you will send
scale.
the chat.
So I picked a color scale from the examples here. So color scale, let me use this. So yeah, I pick this color scale. Once you click it, yeah, then exact color scales for you. So the lowest ones are highlighted in red, the highest ones, the large values are highlighted in green, and let's say the middle ones, the not too low and not too high, are highlighted in yellow. So that was how I got that. And if it was talking about the data bars, so select the column you want to add that to, go to your conditional formatting. This is data bar. So this is the data bar.
So I
Then
think he got it.
all
He
right.
sent the chat already. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
So that's that. And for this one that is highlighted too, for conditional formatting, select this, go to your home tab, your conditional formatting. Let me first clear rule first. Clear rule from this sheet. Now, how I highlighted the duplicate values here, I went to data tab, I said data tab, I went to my home ribbon, my conditional formatting tab. Then I went to highlight cell rule. You can see duplicate values. So duplicate values, okay, before you do that, I want to note duplicated values on this table. So I'm going to select the whole table first. I want to note duplicated values on this table. So I highlighted the whole table. Then now highlight cell rule, duplicate value, then okay. So you can see the duplicated ones are highlighted. So that was how I got this one. So, if that is clear, can I move to the next session, the next part?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you, Ajibola. Okay, so moving to the next, we have concatenate function. So what concatenate function does for us is helps us to merge columns together. You know, text to column helped us to split column earlier. Now concatenate will help us to combine columns together. So here we have a tax here, an example here. You've been supplied with a table that includes the product line, the sales amount, and the week in which it was sold. So you are tasked to create a new column, which will help your analyst to only show week number. Okay, so basically the point is this: why have week the week written here and then the numbers written here when we can have them together, just maybe week one or week two? Why have them separated? So we want to match these two columns together. So that's what we want to do here. So how are we going to do this? There's a function in Excel that's called concatenate function. So just type your equal sign and type concatenate. Before you finish typing, Excel will point it out. This is it, concatenate function. Let me zoom in. Concatenate function. It joins several text strings into one text string. So that is my concatenate function. Now you can see it's asking for the text. What's your first text? The first text is this, the week, this one. I want to join, I want to, what I want to, let me even tell you, this is what I want to achieve. I want to see this instead of separate. This is how I want to see it. Week one. Yeah, note the space week one. So what I will just do is my concatenate function, then my week, then now if I do comma, it's asking for the second text. This is the second text. I do equal sign. I want us to see this first. This is equal sign. Can you see what we have? We have the week one, but then it's clumped together. I want space there, right? Because I picked this and I picked this, that is why it's like this. But I want to add space. So how I'm going to do about that? I'm going to enter this again. My concatenate. This is my concatenate. This is the first text. Now my next text will be my space. I told you that space is in Excel, space is also a text. So if I want to add text, I'll put it in, if I want to add space, I'll put it in quotes. So it is also a text. So my second text is the space. So I put space in quotes, like open quotes, put my space, then close the quotes. The Excel knows that, oh, you've entered something there. Then my comma. Now the third text will now be the week number. Then you can close this function and enter. Now this is what I have, which is simply what I wanted. Week 1, week 2. So that is that. Here now we can combine the name as well, using the concatenate function. This is the first text, then your space and this. So that is that. Then before I move to the second way to get to do the concatenate, to do your concatenation, do we have any question as far as concatenate function is concerned? I mean, for this particular one, let me show us what I have here. Is there any question? Ajibola, please, I can't see the screen since I'm presenting this, so you can let me know. You call my attention to.
Yes, I will let you know if there's any question.
Okay, so none for now. All right, so let me move to the second way to do this, to achieve this. There's something we call ampersand in Excel. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. This is it. This and here, it's called ampersand. Ampersand. Yeah. I don't know, but this is what I'm meant to pronounce. Yeah, this is what it is called. That's this and. So we can use that to, instead of the concatenate function, you can use a ampersand. Ampersand. So how are we going to make use of that? Your equal sign, but this time around you'll be calling the concatenate function, or you'll be using the ampersand. So just like before, what do you want to join? This is my week, right? Now instead of comma, I'm going to enter the ampersand, right? Then the next thing is my space, right? My space. Then instead of comma, it will be the ampersand. Then the third thing is the week number. Then I click enter. I got the same thing. Let me erase everything and do that again. My equal sign, my first thing, my first text, no comma, but this time around an ampersand. Then my space, then my ampersand again, then my last one. If I am to join 17 columns together, I keep adding the ampersand and keep joining. That is that. So we have this. Is that clear?
Okay, so we have two questions. So the first
Okay.
question here says that can we use concatenate function to merge more than two cells? Because I think we use
Yes.
just
Yes,
so I
you
think the
can.
answer is yes, look at that.
You can. You
And
can use it.
okay, then the second question is okay, the person was asking which version of Excel you're using. Probably there are some
So
functions that
2013. Why I use 2013 is to make sure that what I'll be teaching is carrying whether to make sure that whatever version you are using, you are able to do what I can do. Do you get?
yes, thank you.
So I'm
So
using
I think that
2013.
answers the question.
All right. So that is that. Okay, another thing again, if peradventure we only have this week number, we don't have this week here. We don't have week here. This column, we don't have it. We only have this week number, and then we want to achieve this. We can also do that. We can also achieve that. All you need to do is your equal sign. Instead of referencing here now, I will be typing that week. This is the week. You can type it in with your quotes. Type it in your ampersand, type your space, and you cannot. You might just even type your space after this, right? Then your ampersand, and then take this. You still achieve the same thing. You can just type in to do that. And if we are using the concatenate function as well, you can also do that with the concatenate function. Enter your concatenate. The first text now, I am typing in the week. This is the week. Whatever, however you type it in is how it comes out. It's case sensitive. So I type my week. Let me just add the space once and for all. Close that quote. Then comma. Now the second text is this, which is what I am. Oh, sorry. Let me do that again. Concatenate. I want to type my week in. Week. Then my space. Right? Then my comma and this week number. Then I can close this and enter. Still the same thing. Just play around it with this last table. So you can use either the ampersand or the concatenate function to combine that. Is that clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
All right, thank you, Ajibola. Oh, so moving to the last part today, we have data validation. Data validation. So, okay, I'm coming. A minute, please. So data validation, what data validation simply helps us to do is it helps us to create rules that limit the type of data that can be entered into a cell. So we use data validation to create rules that limit the type of data that can be entered into a cell. This tool is very, very useful for especially the data analyst. It helps, or data entry officer, it helps us to minimize typographical errors, it helps us to reduce the data cleaning that will be done later on. It puts us to check
Can you
during
zoom in,
any of,
please? Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. So it helps us to check, it helps us to check during entrance, to check our data when we're entering the data. So that's just it. You just put a criteria. Okay, so let me start by showing us how to locate the data validation. Okay, the data validation tab is in our data tab, our data ribbon. So here in my data ribbon, you can see in the tools group, you can see the data validation. Zoom in. This is the data validation. So with this data validation, you can restrict what you can put limit to the type of data that can be entered into the cell. Yes, so that is that. Now before you you start the data validation, you select the cells that you want to validate. That is, yeah, now let me look at these questions here. So you are given a task to create a drop down list which helps the data entry officer to minimize typographical errors. Okay, now this is the task. Create a drop down list for country column. Let the drop down list include 5 countries, which is Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, and Senegal. So yeah, so then you want to create the drop down list so that they can fill in the country according to the sales agents. Okay, so this is the table now. We have a table here. This is the country. What we want to do is whatever country each sales agent is from, whatever country they are from, just fill it in here. So we can see that for the first one, Jardine, wherever you come across Jardine, you fill Ghana because Jardine is from Ghana. So that's just what we want to do. But then we don't want them putting the wrong things in. So we don't want them putting any other countries aside these 5 countries. So we want to create a drop-down list for them. So that is what we want to do here. So let me zoom out. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So to do that now, I will select the cells that I want to validate. So these are the cells I want to validate. I selected it. Then I go to my data validation tab. Now let me put us through this data validation. This is showing? This is the dialog box you receive. Defaultly, defaultly our validation criteria is always in any value. That is why when you open an Excel workbook or Excel sheet, you can enter anything into it because defaultly the validation is any value. Now you can now, but then as an entry officer, you can restrict what you want to be entered there. Now, this is any value, anything can be entered. Here, you can decide that you want just whole numbers to be entered. So now, when I click whole number, you can see whole numbers between this and this. You see whole numbers between 1 and 5. If I do between 1 and 5, that means anything other than that will not be accepted. Whole numbers not between, you can do that. Whole numbers equal to 100. If I do equal to 100, I can do whole numbers greater than 100 and the like. So that's that for the whole number. For the decimal as well, whole number, then you can restrict by decimal. You can use list. Now, for this particular question, we'll be using list to answer this. So we have a source, we have the list here, it is listed here. So you can just come here, it's asking for source file and select that list. If you select those names, I selected that list. Let me zoom out. I select that list and come back and click OK. You see these places, this particular place, you see the drop down. Everything in that list I selected is what will be shown here. So that is that. And if you decide that okay, you don't want to be referencing somewhere, you don't want to have the list anywhere, you want to type the list in, you can just select it again. Select that again. Go to my data. I don't know if Ajibola can still see. Are you still there?
Yes, sorry, my network, something happened. Were you asking me a question?
Okay, so I'm
Okay, I
saying
was
that
still.
okay. So um I showed us how to select from a particular source here, that's this list. But then you might just decide that I don't want to use this list or I don't want any source because anybody can come into the list and delete. Like now, it is currently from this list, right? If I remove what is here in Nigeria, if I delete, right? If I come back to my list, you won't find Nigeria here again. It is now empty. So maybe because I don't want that, I want to type my list in myself. You get, I don't want to reference any other place. Um, you can do that by just coming to your data validation tab and typing in those countries. So I can type Ghana, comma. So you separate with comma. So Ghana, Nigeria, comma, Togo. The way you typed it, Togo, Benin, you can do that. And then the last one, which is Senegal, you can do that as well. So it won't be referencing any point. It will be there in the data validation stuff. So anybody here can come here and pick what they want to pick. They won't be able to enter anything aside these 5 countries. Yes, that's data validation for drop down. That's for the list. Another thing with the data validation is if you don't want to use the list, you can also use dates. You can use dates between these, dates that are greater than this, and the like. You can also use time. You can use text length. This text length now, I want the text length, whatever I will be entering here, the length should not be greater than 5, or should be between 5 to 10. You can also do that. You can add that. And the for the list now, in cell drop down, there's an option for you to do in cell drop down. If you just want to put the list there and you don't want this drop down button next to it, you don't want it showing, you uncheck it here. But then I usually want it to show. So just put it, I leave it checked. Now, um, I've done that. How do you, there is another point, another place here for error alert. Now we have three types of alert now. It is currently on stop, meaning that putting it on stop. If I come here and type in anything that is other than those three stuff, Excel will stop me. It will tell me, it will return the error message. The value you restricted is not the value you entered is not valid. A user restricted the values that can be entered into this cell. Even if you retry as much as possible, as long as you keep entering the wrong thing, Excel will keep prompting you to stop because you entered a stop. But then if I want to do another one, I don't want stop. It is not stop. I just want warning. If you select warning and you click OK, now if I come here and type something else here and I click enter, Excel will only warn me. It returns the error message, but then it's saying, do you want to continue? It is just warning. It is not stopped. It will not stop you, but it will only warn you. So if I click yes, it will still accept it. The only thing it did was it only warned me. You get. So that's that for that one. Another one is the data validation again. The For the error message, now we have information. This one we just put information there. Like if you click OK now and I put the wrong thing, it's still the same thing to just inform you. So that is not that. But if you want it that okay, you don't want them to put the wrong thing, you have to restrict them. Okay, that was because I selected. Let me select all data validation. Okay, so I want it to stop me. Now you can customize your error message. You can customize your error message. If you don't want that Excel's error message, maybe in your error message, you don't just want to tell them that what they put is wrong, it has been restricted. You want to tell them what they are doing wrong. You can customize the error message. You can say that you can customize it to be, you can put the correct country. You can do that. You can put this and you say, maybe you can title it error or wrong. When you do this and you put the wrong thing, oh sorry, I removed data validation, sorry. Okay, it's already cancelled, that is why. So list, let me reference this just for my example sake. Okay, now I want to test that error alert. This error message I put now, if I click OK now, then I come here and put the wrong thing, we can see what error, put the correct country. So you can customize your error message. I don't know if you got that. It's 12 already, and I think that's all for today. Input message, if you don't want to restrict them, or input messages, okay, let me just, for example, input message. Is what you want them to see whenever they click into that cell. You can see the input message is country. So if there's any information you want to pass across to your to those entering the data, maybe you just want to note, you want to put a note on those cells, you can put it in your input message. So that is that about data validation, and that is that on Excel, and I hope we learned a lot. And I don't know, that's the end. We've come to the end of this session, and I hope we gain a lot and new things, even for those of us that know how to use Excel before.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayomide. I think before um, we round up the session, I think there's a question from Esther here. Said, please, how do we insert currency symbols like naira and dollar?
Okay, so we can do that. Let me do that here on the okay. Okay, first let me do that on a new sheet. So let me just show us how to insert a new sheet. Um So you come here, this plus button is to insert new sheet. So I inserted a new sheet to answer that question. So let's say I have value 100 and I want to put a naira or dollar sign. You do that in your home ribbon. Your home ribbon, you see this number group. This is where you can do that. So just click in this drop down button and come to currency. When you click here, it automatically picks dollar for you. But then if you want to select the currency of your choice, you can pick more number formats. Sorry, what's wrong? Okay, is there more number formats, then currency. So here now in currency, you can see more a drop down for more currency. If you check through, you can pick the currency, the symbol of your choice. You know, these are dollars. Now this is naira. If I want naira, just pick naira and click OK. So that's how to do that. You can also do that here. You can see this drop down here. Um, more accounting format. Okay, okay, it brought us here as well. So it's the same thing. Look for it and add it. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Thank you so much, Ayomide. I guess for the last 2 hours has been impactful, and I, as a person, I also learned a lot while trying to see that this works out well. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for gracing this occasion. I'm sure participants that joined the session today and those that will be probably listening to this YouTube video afterwards is going to cherish this session. Thank you so much, Ayomide. So, guys, yeah, thank you. So, guys, before we leave, just quick announcement or quick information. Um, we've sent a feedback link. So, the feedback link I sent earlier was not working, but the last one I sent, which I think 2 or 3 people have confirmed that it's working, please kindly use that feedback form to fill in your, sort of a way to know the attendance and to get feedback from you based on the session. How was the session? What can be improved? And also, once we get your information, we'll be able to revert back to you on your certificate for this training after the whole skill acquisition event. So next week, we have 2 more sessions to go. Next week, we'll be having PowerPoint and visualization, and the upper week will be having work ethics and management. So, um, and I, as a person that's at Jibola, will be taking for PowerPoint next week, and I'm looking forward to that time already. So, I guess that takes us to the end of the session. So, I'll just wait for about a minute if there's any last question or clarification or comment from anybody before we end the broadcast and end the session. So I'll be looking at the chat now if there's any information. Okay, while I'm waiting for your comments, please follow us on all our social media handles. Um, I'm going to send that again here. Please follow us on our social media handles to get more information about our events and everything that we are doing at TOC. This is the one for LinkedIn. I'm trying to send uh, the link for you to follow us. This is the one for Instagram. So please follow us. And if you are not part of the email community, kindly do that as well. So by 5:15 p.m. today, we'll be having something dropping in your inbox, which is going to help you as well as far as your career is concerned. So thank you everybody for joining the session. I wish us a wonderful um, day ahead. Thank you so much, Ayomide, once again. It's a pleasure to have you here. Um, so, bye bye, everyone.